The heart has two general terms to help reference the location and positioning. The top up here is called the base. It's a point of attachment for blood vessels entering and exiting the heart. And the apex down here is the pointed end of the heart. The heart has four chambers. The lower chambers are called the ventricles. They're covered with ridges and folds called the trabeculae carnae. We were asked to squeeze the heart to see which side was thicker. The right side here is not nearly as thin as the left side, and the left side is thicker because of how much it pumps blood into the body. The top chambers are called the atrium. They are covered with auricles, also ear-like flaps made of muscle. The atrium receives blood from the right atrium, and I got my cut a little low. We can see right in here the tricuspid valve, which is between the right atrium and the right ventricle. And over here, through here, we can see the aorta. It's a large artery that emerges from the left ventricle and carries blood to the systemic circuit. Inside the aorta is the aortic semilunar valve. The semilunar valve is a valve between the atrium and the left ventricle, and between the pulmonary trunk and the right ventricle as well, up in here. The valve prevents blood from entering the left ventricle. And if we look in here, we can see the bicuspid valve going from the left ventricle up into the left atrium. The bicuspid valve is an atrioventricular valve between the left atrium and ventricle. It's also known as the mitral valve. And inside we can see the chordae tendineae in here, which are fibrous cords that connect the bicuspid and tricuspid valves with the papillary muscles that hold them in place. They're also referred to as heartstrings. The papillary muscles anchor the chordae tendineae to the valves. And if we look in between the right and the left atrium, we can see the interventricular septum, which is a muscular wall between the right and left ventricles. And we were asked to talk about the blood flow. So if we follow the blood flow from the left ventricle, it goes through the aortic semilunar valve and into the aorta. And from the right ventricle, it goes through the pulmonary semilunar valve and into the pulmonary trunk.